What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to do a couple clutch update videos for you guys. So we have two clutches, both of which were fathered by this snake right here. He is a male lavender albino het pied. The first clutch was a female black pastel het pied, and the second clutch was a female leopard het pied. She was possible het lavender, but sadly she didn't prove out. But we got some pretty cool babies. So let me just put them away and we'll get started. Okay, get in your home. Here we go. All right, so clutch number one. We only ended up with 3 snakes that survived. So let's start with the least exciting of the bunch. This is a normal het lav, 66% het pied, with some great het pied markers, as you can see. White belly with a black outline, that's what you're usually looking for het pied markers. And you can see the stomach's getting a little pink because they're about to go in a shed. So let's move on to the next one here, which we have pretty much genetically the exact same snake. But as you can see, this one has a bunch of white marks when you compare it to this one. These are what's called paradox. So it is a het lavender and also possible het pied with great markers as well. But you can see that the lavender, the het lavender, wants to come through here, 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 right there, and pretty much all over the place on the snake. It's a really cool looking snake. Paradox is very random. It's not genetic. Sometimes it pops up, and it doesn't necessarily always reproduce itself. So it is random. It's not something you can technically breed for, but it's always nice to see it because it's pretty cool. Then the last snake out of all this is a black pastel, het lavender, 66% het pied. Very nice looking snake. Also ended up with a very nice belly, so probably will prove out as a het pied. This one is probably the best het pied markers of the 3. So fortunately all 3 turned out to have great het pied markers, so I'm pretty confident that all 3 would prove out. All 3 of them are boys though, sadly, so I will probably not be holding on to these, but pretty cool looking snakes nonetheless. Nice start to the season. So let's just take another quick look at the 3 and we'll move on to clutch number 2. All right. Put these away. So now we're going on to the leopard clutch, which I ended up with twice as many snakes. And there's some pretty cool ones in here as well. So let's start off with the 2 normals in here. If I can get... So yeah, I forgot to mention the last clutch. They were both het pieds, but you didn't end up with any pieds. Obviously, you see there's a pied in this one. But let's take a look at these 2 snakes here. So these are 2 normals. One of them looks a little brighter and a little more wonky than the other one. It's from this stock that's going around in Billy's collection at Mutation Creation that they call the new gene. So this is essentially a single gene version of that. So you can see compared to an absolute normal, they look a little bit different, a little bit more brightness, a little bit more banding, and almost looks like an enchi, just not quite the same coloring, but looks a little different nonetheless. And you'll see how it affects them in leopards. So let's put these 2 back. Let me grab a couple leopards. I ended up with 3 leopards. Let's look at the first 2. So these are, again, these are all het lavender, 66% het pied. And we'll show you what some nice pied markers look like again. Look at that, nice white belly, black outline. Looking good to prove out, nice wonky leopard pattern. Let's take a look at this one, same thing here, nice black outline, the white belly. So these are your typical leopards. So let's look at the third one and I'll tell you what's different about it. So that new gene that I mentioned makes it brighter and more wonkier. Look at the difference between these 2 here and that one. So this, I believe, is a leopard, new gene, het lavender, 66% het pied. You put them all in the same hand and you can obviously tell they're not the same. Fortunately, this one ended up being a female, so I will probably hang on to it and see what comes of it, because it's just a really crazy looking snake. You know, leopards aren't usually this awesome, to be honest, you know? So it's just a cool looking snake, and I don't know, I like it, so I'll probably just end up keeping it. Last but not least, we have what we were shooting for. This is a pied, and it is 100% het lavender. And funnily enough, it's starting to come in with a couple little dots here that weren't there at birth. Sometimes you have pieds that have some speckling that comes in on the white later on. So hopefully this one is one of them. We'll see. And leopard is quite hard to identify in pied sometimes. But these saddles are a little different. You know, there's different splotches here. So I'm hopeful that maybe this is a leopard pied het lav. It also has a nice, well, I wouldn't call it a smiley face, but a, what would you call that kind of face? Leave in the comments what kind of face you think that is. Kind of a funny one, right? Unimpressed face, you know? But yeah, it could maybe be leopard, or it could maybe be the new gene. I don't know. But it's also a female, and it's het lavender, so I'll hang on to her. So pretty cool snakes. I'll be doing some more updates. You guys stay tuned. Thanks for taking a look at my video, and I will see you guys on the next one.